Our top story, a driver is missing after their car was swept away by floodwaters in Sydney's northwest. The emergency is unfolding as the heaviest rain in nearly 3 decades lashes parts of the east coast. More than 100,000 residents in New South Wales and Queensland have lost power as strong winds and torrential rain spark thousands of calls for help.
Here's what we know so far. Divers are searching for a driver whose car was swept off a causeway at Galston Gorge. That's in Sydney's northwest. The SES has received more than 6,000 calls for help on Sydney's wettest weekend since 1992. The coastline from the Hunter to Bega is on flood watch. A hazardous surf warning is in place across the state as well. In Queensland, the Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast saw widespread flash flooding, and flood warnings are in place for drought-ravaged Dalby. The SES received close to 500 calls for help, 32 of those for floodwater rescues after drivers became stuck on flooded roads.
Our reporters are standing by in Queensland and New South Wales this morning. We begin this hour with Stella Todorovic at Milperra in Sydney's southwest. Stella, police are searching for one person unaccounted for in the flood.
That's right, Annalise, and this is very much a developing situation. What we do know is the SES has confirmed that this operation is underway to search to find a missing person in the floodwaters at Galston Gorge in the city's north. We've just had an update in the last hour from the SES. Let's take a listen to what they had to say on this emergency situation.
Well, at Galston Gorge, we had a car washed off the causeway there. We're yet to find the driver of that vehicle. New South Wales Police are now involved and will be handling the situation from here. We hope and pray that that works out successfully, but we are just waiting for some further information from the police.
Annalise, I'm here in Milperra where there's a major flood warning for the Georges River. Last night, 3,000 properties in and around Milperra were forced to evacuate as a result of flash flooding, and the surrounding suburbs, 9 surrounding suburbs, have also been warned they will be impacted by dangerous flood waters today. As you can see, the water is just incredible. This is a street here. We've seen neighbours coming through trying to figure out what's going on. We've got an abandoned car. The Georges River has peaked this morning at 5.4 metres, and the level is higher than it was in the 1988 floods. That inundated 1,000 homes. The widespread weather event didn't only impact the southwest of Sydney, but also the northwest and north of Sydney. At Narrabeen, 4,000 properties evacuated last night. This widespread weather event wreaking havoc over the last few days, but it looks like there's more rain to come.
We are expecting further rain overnight, some further rains this morning and into tomorrow, down through the southern parts of New South Wales and into the top parts of Victoria. We are asking people to be vigilant. We've got a lot of runoff in those burnt areas from the bushfires, a lot of debris in the water.
Residents in these affected areas are being advised to stay home today, to not go to work or to school, because transport networks, there will be delays across the entire network across the Greater Sydney region today, and more than 50 schools have also been forced to close today. It's just started sprinkling here in Milperra. We are expecting to see more rain and potentially some thunderstorms today as well here in Sydney. Annalise.
Stella there, live in Sydney. Thank you. To Queensland now, where rain has bucketed down across the Sunshine State, causing a number of low-lying areas to flood there. Brendan Smith is in Brisbane. Brendan, there's a lot of usual haunts that flood in that region. Talk us through it.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. All of those low-lying areas, they're the common suspects for those floodwaters to quickly rise, particularly in Dalby. Yesterday, we saw those low-lying areas cop an absolute drenching, and a number of homes were inundated with a massive torrent of water, which quickly saw through. We saw 3.15 metres at its peak with floodwaters yesterday, inundating a number of homes. Thankfully, no homes were destroyed, as the majority of that floodwater merely lapped at the garages of a number of those homes. That floodwater has since receded early this morning. It is now below 2 metres, but still a long clean-up ahead as residents wake up in Dalby this morning. Further across the Darling Downs, we saw Oakey receive 126 millimetres of rain in 24 hours. 110 millimetres of rain for Toowoomba, and there's still plenty of rain ahead. It's likely those areas could receive up to 50 millimetres of rain in the next 48 hours. As a result of this, further across Queensland, we saw more flash flooding across the Sunshine Coast, Brisbane and Gold Coast. The Gold Coast alone yesterday in Coolangatta received more than 200 millimetres of rain as of 9 a.m. yesterday, and that means so many dams are at capacity or over capacity at the moment. Gold Creek alone in Upper Brookfield is now at 132% capacity, so plenty of water flowing through at the moment. As I said, there are still plenty of showers and thunderstorms on the way, so the SES again is urging everyone to heed the warnings and to not drive through floodwater.